Okay, good morning, students. We'll start the class. So, in today's class, we will discuss about collaborative filtering. So, in the previous class, we talk about the content-based filtering. We'll see what is collaborative-based filtering. So, what is content-based filtering? Suppose you have purchased two products today, okay, or you have purchased or you have viewed two products today. So, the next time, what happens is the next day, okay, when you just come in, the app gives you a suggestion to purchase two more similar product. Okay, so that is what you call as content-based filtering. Okay, so now today's class we will talk about collaborative filtering. What is collaborative filtering? So many times when you are browsing Amazon or Facebook, you would have got a suggestion like your friends like this page. Okay. So for example, your friend would have liked the app, okay, online gaming app. So you also will get a suggestion saying X friend, Y friend, and Z of your friend likes this. Okay. So you may also like it. Okay. Now that is what is a very good example of collaborative filtering technique. Okay, so what is collaborative filtering technique? Here is a definition: is a method of making automatic prediction about the interest of a user by collecting preferences or taste information from many users. Okay, that's what you call as collaborative. Please have this keyword. So this technique, it collects information from many users who have purchased similar products, and then it gives you suggestion regarding that. Okay, now here is an example. All right, so here you could see a man and he has purchased two eatables. Okay, so he has purchased two menus, and also he has purchased one more. Okay, so a small cool drink type of. Now what happened here is there is also one more person who's going in a bicycle, and he has already purchased these two. Now what happened is it recommends, okay, customer who have bought this also have bought this. Okay, that is what is an example of this collaborative filtering technique. Okay, so customer who have bought this also have bought this. So customer who read this book also read this book. Okay, customer who read this blog also have read this blog. So in many different applications, you will be receiving recommendations like this. Okay, so that is what you called as a collaborative filtering technique. So here is one more example. Okay, so this, she likes Disney, Disneyland, Disney, and Six Flags, and this guy likes Disney and Disneyland. So based on these a graph is formed. Okay, there are many techniques available to filter out. Okay, so here they have used the graph technique, and then for a new user, okay, so a suggestion is given. Okay, recommended pages for you. All right, recommended pages for you. Now, how actually it is done? Again, the cosine similarity is used here. So let's take this example. These are the some four movies are given. So Joe has rated this movie 5254, and John has rated 253, and this guy has Alan. Maybe let's take Alan. Alan has rated the movie 222, and now Nathan has rated the movie 515, and can we suggest this movie? That is what is the question. Can we suggest this movie to Nathan? Okay, then what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to find out cosine similarity between all the users. That is what is done here between Nathan and Joe, Nathan and John, and Nathan and Alan. So the cosine similarity we discussed in the previous class. What is the formula for cosine similarity? So in today's class, we will discuss about one more correlation mapping technique. Okay, one was cosine similarity. What is the other one? We will see in the few more slides. Okay, now after we find out the cosine similarity, it is understood that it is 0.99 for Joe and 0.64 for Nathan and 0.91 for Alan. Okay, so now then again you find out the prediction. What is the next step? After you find out the similarity matrix, you have to predict it. Okay, so what is that? How you predict it? So here is 0.99 into 4. Okay, so and 0.64 into 3 and 0.91 into 2 divided by the total cumulative 0.99 plus 0.64 plus 0.91. So the answer is 3.03. Now they'll have their own technique for a threshold. Okay, thresholding. So if the threshold is above 3, we will suggest that movie to Nathan. Otherwise, we won't be suggesting that movie. So this is one example of understanding collaborative. Okay, so you find out the cosine similarity. Even in item, in the content-based filtering technique, we did this. Okay, we found the cosine similarity, and based on the cosine similarity, we found out the frequency, the inverse frequency, and then we predict it. Okay, how far the user can be recommended with the product is what we predict in the content-based filtering technique. So similarly here also, the collaborative filtering technique, we were doing it. Okay. Now, what are the two types of collaborative filtering technique? There are two types. One is the user-based, the other one is the item-based. Okay. So we'll see with an example how these works. Okay, user-based recommendation. Collaborate all the users and then you recommend him one content. Okay, so that is what is the user-based. Then what is item-based? Collaborate all the items the user have purchased. Not only the user's rating, user's purchase cart. Okay, so many features. You take all the products that they have purchased and compare between the items. Okay, so in user-based collaborative filtering, comparison is done between the users in the column level. In the item collaborative filtering, the comparison is done in the in user-based collaborative filtering, the comparison is done in the row level. In item-based collaborative filtering, the comparison is done in the column level. Okay, we will see how it is done. Okay, now here is a very good example of user-based collaborative filtering. Okay, so this is the example that we see here in the earlier. Okay, so he has purchased three products. So recommend that to him also. Similar case in a movie. Okay, so for a movie also. So this guy has purchased three movies. So they two have similarity in the 1 and 2, movie 1 and movie 2. So let us recommend movie 3 also. Okay, so we'll see. Yeah, I told you not only cosine similarity, there is one more similarity metric that you can do. That is what you call as a Pearson correlation. Okay, you can do Pearson correlation also. Pearson correlation also gives you a very good similarity technique for you. What is the first step? If I want to do collaborative filtering, what is the first step is, I want to do a user versus item rating matrix. Okay, I want to build a user versus rating item matrix. Okay, so how do I do it? Let's take this example. All of you take this example. So there are user 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, already these are all the existing users. And here item 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now, these people have rated the movie this way. User 1 has rated the item as 5, 8, 7, 8. Okay. So then 10. Okay. And then he has rated 2, 2, 10, 9, 9. Okay. And then user 4 has recommended like this. User 5 has recommended like this. Now, a new user comes in. Okay. A new user comes in. Maybe let's take a Facebook, a social media. A new user comes into a social media. Now, how do I make recommendation for him? Okay, how do I make recommendation for him? So find the very closest user to him. Number one, find the very closest. You could see that the user 3 maps user A well. Okay, you could see here. He has also rated this particular item 2, 2. Okay, every other of 5, 10, 1. Okay. Now the question is, why can't I take user 5? So user 5, if you could see, there is less similarity between user 5 and user A. He has purchased item 1 and 2, but this fellow has no interest on 2. Okay, and he has no interest on 3 and 4. Okay, so if you see the close relationship between all the users with that of user A, user 3 matches him well. Okay, so you see this is 2 and this is 10 and here it's 9. And here it is 9 and here it is 10. Okay. Now user 4 also matches him better. But if you could see here, 2 parameters of him or less. Okay. So we'll take or very similar to user A. Okay. So we'll take user 3 now. Okay. Now what is that he has purchased? Yes, he has purchased item 1, but he has not purchased item 2. So item 2 is in the cart now. Okay. So 10, item 3, this guy also has purchased, experienced that. Item 4, he has also experienced that. And item 5, okay, item 5, he has not purchased. No, so now to user A, I can recommend item 2 and item 5. But what is that I like the most? Item 5. Okay, item 5 is the one the user 3 likes the most. For example, somebody, you are going to a hotel, okay, and somebody asks you menu 1 and menu 2. So you say that menu 1 is only 3. I'll give 3 star instead of 5. But menu 5, I give 5 out of 5. Which one you will prefer? You will prefer always the highest one. Okay, so that's how the 9. Okay, user 3, he highly prefers that item 5 can be suggested for the user A. Okay, so recommended item preferred by highly correlated user 3 is item 5. This is what is called user based collaborative filtering. Now, if more user are correlating with user A, the sparse matrix become very big. Okay, so this is one disadvantage of collaborative filtering. What is collaborative filtering? You have to consider many users and then make recommendation. Okay, but content based filtering only you. Okay, you just refer only you and then you make recommendation based on your user history, user browsing history, based on your purchase history, based on your viewed pages. Okay, you are given recommendation. It's mainly based on you. But what about the collaborative? Collaborative is it based on others. Okay, very similar people of others, you make recommendation. Now that's one problem, that if more people are related to you, okay, for example, I have 100 people related to me. In this case, let's say user A, 100 people are similar like user 3. So you have to do all similarity comparison, similarity. First you have to make cosine similarity formula, then you have to make prediction. So all these calculations are involved, which is little bit complex. Okay, if more users are there, there is little bit complex. Then how it's happening? It's happening with advanced techniques. Okay, you should think out now, starting from a very less of cosine similarity function till deep learning methods are applied here in the recommendation engine to prune it and give you the best suggestion with less time. Okay, so that is what is people are working on. All right, so this is about user based collaborative filtering. So what is the problem here? Here I told you the sparsity problem. What is the sparsity problem? More number of users, you will have more number of people to compare as a sparsity problem. Now, one more problem is called as a cold start problem. What is it, cold start problem? See, in content-based technique, there is nobody to compare. Okay, only you. You are compared with yourself. But in collaborative technique, you have to be compared. You have to yourself need to be compared with many users. So as much of users you compare, the results are better, right? So suppose you go and ask one person, how was the hotel? The person will say yes. You ask two people, so two people say yes. You ask the third people, they may say no. Okay. So you ask 10 people, so the maximum number of results you will take to go to that hotel. Okay, to recommend that hotel for yourself. So cold start problem is initially you will not have anybody. Okay, so initially maybe the hotel is not good, but the person who goes there, he likes the hotel and he say yes. Okay, but now what happened? As time goes on, the result may change. Okay, so gradually only you can decide whether your recommendation is correct or not. Okay, so initially it will be chill. You cannot decide whether the recommendation is correct because the recommendation cannot be made with as many as users. First, initially you can make with one very small set of people. Then many people will be keep on buying that product. So again, it can be expanded. So now if you see Facebook, okay, so your school friends will be recommended for you. And now after your school friends are recommended, your school friends are also recommended for you. So in the add friend, you will get them. But you could see only one mutual friend or two mutual friend or 10 mutual friends, because those people are maybe a good friend of yours, your friend. Okay, so then they are recommended. Then if you click them, if you give them add friend and join them, their friends are recommended for you. So this is how the cold start problem is there in collaborative filtering. So initially, items with fewer rating cannot easily be recommended. Okay, so maybe the first time users are not interested in giving ratings to the product. Okay, then how will you recommend those products for the others? Okay, here this is a very big challenge to deal. Okay, cold start problem and collaborative filtering. All right, the next one is item based filtering. So I told you User-based filtering is row-wise. You do the comparison row-wise. Item-based filtering is you do column-wise. Okay. So now how we'll see how it is done. Here you see the example. User A comes and he wants to buy a product. Okay. He has to be recommended with their product. So he already has purchased item 1, item 3, and item, maybe let's take this item L. Okay. So now the item L is compared with item 5. Okay. And the recommendation has to be made for him. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 9, 9, 10. Okay. So 3 users have purchased that item L. Sorry, 3 users who have purchased item L, they have also purchased item 5. Okay, 3 users who have purchased item L, they have also purchased item 5. So now you recommend item 5. Okay, so the same words the app uses. Okay, so 3 customers have already viewing the cart. You could observe that in many of the applications you will get a message. 100 users have already have the product in their cart. Okay, 10 users have recently purchased the product. So how all these recommendations are made and what is the example? The collaborative filtering technique. Okay. Now, moving on to the problem, here again you have the cold start problem because initially, say a new app is launched. Okay, you launch a new app and you cannot make recommendation. Okay, as days go by only you have to make recommendation and improve your business. So new user cold start problem is there, new item cold start problem. It happens in anything. Okay, take Amazon, eBay, maybe they are giants. A new product is launched. So initially the recommendation cannot be made for the product. So they have to advertise, they have to market it. And then only based on the rating, they will be making the recommendation. So this is about the recommendation system. So what is that we discuss under recommendation system? What is recommendation system? What are the 2 types of recommendation system? Content-based filtering and collaborative filtering. So under collaborative filtering, we discuss about item-based filtering and user-based filtering. So there are few techniques to evaluate the recommendation system also. So whether your recommendation system is working on good. Okay, so that's what one more topic that's left. Now, again, we will resume with the, it's 20 and we have some more time. I want you to resume with your assignment. Okay, so quickly search for few examples and I don't want you to list the examples like this. Okay, Amazon, Facebook, YouTube. Okay, so I could see in some of your answers were like that. Okay, so I was evaluating your answers. I saw that Amazon, Facebook, YouTube. So that is not required. What is the very specific collaborative based recommendation made in an application? Okay, so quickly take a screenshot, upload it as the 3rd document. Okay, so make it as collaborative filtering, one more document and upload it to the same page. Okay, same link, you upload it as a 3rd document. All right, so please don't copy it from others. I could see replicas. Please don't do it. Okay, you will not be given marks. So quickly search user-based collaborative technique. Okay, item-based collaborative technique. There are many business that is doing it, many apps that is doing it. Okay, so you just explore all the websites. Now, as the festival season, every apps are functional. Every apps are doing all sorts of marketing and recommendations. So I want you to quickly explore those and fill it and upload it as the 3rd assignment. Okay, I'll give you time. I'll be online. If you have any doubt, you can ask me.